Jonah Coleman is the Washington Huskies bowling ball running back and one of the best in the nation. He is prepared and ready to take over the Big Ten in 2025.
You are Locked On NFL Draft, your daily podcast covering the NFL Draft. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back to the Locked On NFL Draft Podcast, your daily podcast covering your favorite draft prospects, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your boy, Damian Parson. I'm an NFL draft analyst with Bleacher Report. And as always, thank you for making Locked On NFL Draft your first listen today and every day. Shout out for being our every Dayers, guys. We got a fun one talking about the running backs in the 2025 college football season for the 2026 NFL draft. Jonah Coleman, a bowling ball, fire hydrant built running back that's one of the best in the country. Darius Taylor at Minnesota is the guy you need to watch in the Big Ten. And then Jamal Haynes, a Darren Sproles type of back. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code Locked On NFL for $20 off your first purchase. Jonah Coleman, guys, this is a well-built, short, stout, stocky frame. He's built like a bowling ball, fire hydrant. All those scouting adjectives and labels that we use for this body type, yeah, he fits that to a T. Like, he fits every bit of that. He's coming off of a productive season last year with the Washington Huskies, 192 rushes and touches out of the backfield, on 1,060 yards rushing, 10 total touchdowns on the season. And Jonah Coleman is just a talented player. And one thing I'm going to tell you right now, he's got a chance to be one of those top 3 backs in the 2026 NFL draft. Last year, he had one, two, three, four. He had five games over 100 and over 100 rushing yards on the season last year. And when you talk about first year in the Big Ten, he had a good game against Michigan, who we know that defense was loaded, 18 for 80 and a touchdown, average almost 4.5 yards per carry in that game. He had a good game against Indiana, against USC, UCLA. He was good. Like, this is a guy that averages 5.5 yards per carry. And again, he's listed as 5'9", 220 to 230, right? This is a stocky build. So a guy that's built like that fire hydrant, that has that strong lower half, thick thighs, big legs, is be able to run with power, run behind his pads. But what I love about Jonah Coleman's game is the vision. It's the patience. It's the suddenness. Slow to, fast through is what they teach running backs and what they used to teach running backs, especially. So I love to see, you could tell the schools and the colleges and the coaches that teach their running backs that, because their running backs aren't overly exuberant and excited to hit the hole and hit the lane. They wait for the offensive line to create room and space so they can get into the teeth of the defense and hit daylight, right? And he does such a good job of that. He's a lateral cutter. This is a guy that when he gets into that box, that 5-yard box, he hits the line of scrimmage. He is it's almost like a smaller Le'Veon Bell. He will approach the line of scrimmage with caution, but it's just to manipulate you into really showcasing where your rush lanes and your run defensive lanes are as a linebacker. So he's patient enough to draw you forward, make you attack the line of scrimmage, and then he counters it with jump cuts, lateral cuts, side steps. His ability to make guys miss. Then he has a nice straight arm, stiff arm, contact balance is there. This is a talented runner that last year, right? Because he spent 2 years at Arizona. 2022, only 84 snaps. 2023, 141 snaps. But listen, it's the big plays he creates as well. Last year, his longest run was 64 yards. He had 38 rushes last year of 10 or more yards. Like, this young man gets the job done in creating big plays, right? He creates big plays. Now, you're talking about long runs on the season last 64, 39, 46. Like, and again, like, he didn't have a robust or a great quarterback situation last year. It was solid, but it's not like he's back there with Cam Ward at quarterback or Shador Sanders at quarterback, the type of quarterbacks that the defense keys in on first. No, he was the guy that you wanted to key in on. And Washington, we talked about with the receiver, Denzel Boston, right? Me and Keith talked about him recently on the pod, maybe a couple weeks ago. When you have Washington has two of the best players in college football at their respective positions. Jonah Coleman at running back and Denzel Boston at wide receiver. So when I look at Jonah Coleman, yes, this is a guy, again, 5'9", 220, 225. I think I saw one point he was listed at 228. So, and it's not like just like a sloppy 220, 220. No, he's well built, strong, physical, muscle bound frame. This is a physical runner as well. He will finish runs. He will lower that shoulder. And listen, there's a phrase in football, ladies and gentlemen. It says low man wins, and it's hard to get lower than a short guy. I'm telling you, short kings at running back, it's hard to get shorter than him. It's hard to drop down below the level and be able to be the lowest man, right? So because the risk you run as a defender, if you're 6'2", he's 5'9", and you try to drop down to that 5'9", 5'10" type of level, you're playing at his playing field, at his level, right? You're in his stratosphere. Now he lowers that shoulder. You don't have balance, okay? So you don't have the balance to get the job done because you're not at your level, right? I remember it's a different position, but I remember, like, I think it was might have been, I'm trying to remember which corner it was, but I remember, I think Jalen Ramsey was on IG Live a couple years ago. I think it might have been Derek Stingley, or it was one of those kind of taller corners at 6'1", 6'2". And he said, man, I think he was answering questions. Ramsey was, he asked, like, hey, when you're playing press against shorter receivers, do you lower your pad level at the line of scrimmage? He said, no. Like he said, I play at my height and my base because that's where I'm comfortable, and basically, like, I have balance and things like that, right? So yeah, it's the same thing at running back, man. So for me, keep your eyes on Jonah Coleman. I think he is geared up to be a dominant force in the Big Ten this year, right? And again, a lot of people don't know about him, but you need to know about him. This young man, again, had a great season last year, over 1,000 yards, 10 total touchdowns, and he had less than 200 rush attempts on the season. I believe he had less than 200 total touches as well. So yeah, man, this is just such a talented, he had a little over 200 total touches, but under 200 rush attempts. And I just look at him and say, somebody's going to be very happy drafting him when it comes down to the 2026 NFL draft. We just watched, because you think about the Blake Corums. We saw Jarquez Hunter go with 3rd, 4th round. RJ Harvey went 2nd round. I'll tell you this right now. This young man's better than RJ Harvey. Like, the vision is there, but he's much more powerful of a runner. Finishes runs better. Similar lateral ability and ability to make guys miss, but he's just a more violent, physical, tone-setting type of runner. Stiff arms, run through your face mask, all that type of stuff. There's a play where he actually hurdles a defender as well. Like, he's very similar to RJ, but he doesn't turn down downhill runs the way RJ Harvey did at UCF at times. So, RJ Harvey, 2nd round pick. I think Jonah Coleman is geared up to be a 2nd round pick as well. And he's going to be one of my top 5 running backs. I'll come on here and drop my top 10 early rankings for you guys before the season. But listen, guys, we're going to transition to Darius Taylor. We're going staying in the Big Ten. We're going to Minnesota. They have a star running back themselves who is ready for the NFL draft. He's draft eligible. And we're going to break his game down coming up next. We've all been there, logging on early and waiting forever for concert tickets to go on sale, only to lose your spot for a show you've been dying to see. Live music should be about making memories and not dealing with the crazy stress of ticket shopping. That's where Game Time comes in. Guys, Game Time makes getting concert tickets faster and easier than ever. Prices actually drop as it gets closer to showtime, so you can save up to 60% off with killer last-minute deals. And are you tired of endless scrolling trying to find the best deal? Game Time Zone Deals pick the best seats in your section for you. So take the guesswork out of buying concerts and show tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, use the redeem code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. 6 foot, 215 pounds, running back Darius Taylor for the Minnesota Gophers. He is a guy that could potentially take over along with Jonah Coleman, same thing in the Big Ten, and really take over, man. I think Minnesota's offense is going to run through him this season. This guy, again, 6 foot, 215 pounds, and he had a successful season himself last year. 204 carries, 987 yards rushing, 10 rushing touchdowns, only one fumble on 200 carries. And when you look at 2023, I've been watching this young man since he arrived on campus as a freshman. And so here's some of the numbers, guys. 342 attempts, one fumble. Okay? One fumble in 342 attempts for Darius Taylor. So one thing you know he's going to do is protect the football. He's strong. He's physical. He gets downhill in a hurry. This is a guy, especially, I look at him and I say, man, I feel like he's a very good fit for what we see in today's NFL, the West Coast offense, the wide zone, the zone rushing concepts, right? Attacking the outside, being a one-cut runner. Yeah, I won't say he's Matt Forte, but he's kind of similar in the sense of that taller, bigger back that's nimble enough to work the zone game and be a quick enough mover to go from lateral to vertical as a runner, right? So being able to process information quickly, read the outside tackle, understanding you have three options. You can bang, you can bend, or you can bounce the run. And understanding when to do either of those three is pivotal when running zone concepts as a running back. So I think this is a young man that could absolutely be a potential top 3 running back in college football this year, long as the quarterback play is suffice. But heck, I mean, we watched Caleb Johnson last year with terrible quarterback play, no passing offense whatsoever at Iowa, and he was among the nation's best, up there with the Ashton Genties and the Marion Hamptons, right? So yes, like Darius Taylor, the vision is there, the one cut ability as a slasher is there as well. The one thing first of all, I get into the negatives. He catches the ball well. He does catch the ball well. And everything. So he catches the ball out of the backfield. This is a guy that you can use like screen game. He can actually run routes out of the backfield, quick little dump downs, hitches in the middle of the field, things of that nature. You can do that with Darius Taylor. And then it's the ability to make plays after the catch because he can force missed tackles. And then he can break tackles as well. The one thing I think I would like to see, and again, he's 6 foot, listed at 6 foot 215. The one thing I definitely would love to see change with him, he's kind of that high upright runner, the Eric Dickerson, the Darren McFadden. Like he gives you a big target to strike as a defender. And in the NFL, when you're hitting a lane, and the backside linebacker is Roquan Smith. It's Fred Warner, right? And Levante David. You don't want to give those guys clean, big targets to hit. And I think that's what he does. And that's something that you would like to see just lower the pad level a little bit, right? To where, because again, it's not like he gets stood up or at the line of scrimmage or anything. He runs hard downhill. It's just a simple fact of, man, this is kind of tough because, again, you're running into the risk of big hits and you're open as a running back, right? You're high, you're broad, your chest is open, and you're talking about kind of easy, clean shots for a backside defender to come and just level you. Rib shots, things like that. like you're exposed a little bit. So I would like to see him, just protect himself better in those type of situations. And this year against the better defenses in the Big Ten, yeah, he's got to be better against Michigan, right? He was 13 carries, 36 yards, 2.8 yards per, but he had 2 rushing touchdowns. Against Iowa, 10 for 34, 3.4 yards per carry in that game. Against UCLA, 16 for 30, 1.9 yards per carry. He did have a touchdown in that game as well. And what's one thing that the floor is there for him, right? Rutgers was 10 for 28. And again, it's a lot of it is not always on him. It is due to the fact they don't have a really last year. Max Brosmer was their quarterback, and he was solid. He's a game manager, solid quarterback, but at the same time, he's not a game changer. And I think that's probably one of the big things. But really good, anticipatory thrower, accuracy is there. He just doesn't give you a lot. So when you have a traditional pocket passer, they need for a running game. And to alleviate some of that pressure off the running game and the running backs, they need to be an outstanding passer. They need to be the Tom Brady's, the Peyton Mannings, the Drew Breeses of the world, because we know you're not going to create much at all, and you're not going to be a factor in the run game, right? That's the benefit of having different archetypes, right? Not saying that one is better than the other, but for the run game, if Mac Jones is not helping the Jacksonville Jaguars rushing attack, consistently, because he can't consistently carry a passing offense. He showed that at New England, right? And then he's a sitting duck in the pocket, so we don't even have the rush threat. But when you look at not just a Lamar Jackson, but over the years, Cam Newton, we've seen Malik Willis have success in Green Bay and everything. Like being able to utilize a running quarterback's legs and factor that into the running game to where you get the QB zone read, hold that backside end, things of that nature. If you crash, I take. It's different. So I think that's going to be the big thing for Minnesota is can their quarterback alleviate some of that pressure off of Darius Taylor this year to where he can really play again, almost 1,000 yards rushing last year, guys, almost 1,000 yards rushing. And I believe he had 350 yards receiving. 54 receptions. He caught 54 of his 62 targets. Only had 3 drops last year, right? So this is a guy that can be a 3-down back in the NFL and be a potential workhorse type of back. Now, I think the top end speed is going to be a little questionable. I think it's the top end speed, and then the where is acceleration and just the rewind. Same thing for Jonah Coleman. Jonah Coleman, same thing. The top end speed and the acceleration are not the acceleration is good, not great. The top end speed is solid, right? And I think that's what's going to make some teams cause for pause. But I think with Darius Taylor, same thing with Jonah Coleman. Yeah, Darius Taylor, man, again, 6 foot 215, Minnesota Gophers star running back. They should feed him the ball. Get the play action game going, get the RPO game going. And if their passing attack can be more complimentary and even be better than it was last year, I don't think we'll see as many rough games of 1.9, 2.8, 3.4 yards per carry. We'll see. I mean, I think last year he averaged 4.8, almost 5 yards a carry, right? And in the college football, a lot of people are like, oh, you need to be averaging 6 and 7. Guys, you don't. You don't. And situations matter, right? It just is what it is. If the offense, Iowa and Caleb Johnson was able to work well because their offensive line is dominant, okay? And they got offensive tackle we're going to talk about soon anyway. But offensive line is dominant, right? Even when you can't pass the ball, you can absolutely move and maul guys in the run game and let your running back pick his spots, be as good as he can be, right? So that's the thing with Minnesota. Can they be physical enough in the Big Ten to really move guys off the ball and everything? And we'll see. We'll definitely see. But that's where you want to see that uptick in blocking productivity, and then that helps him be more of a consistent producer, and then maybe the yards per carry actually goes up because he's not getting hit at the line of scrimmage as much as he did in 2024. But guys, that's Darius Taylor. We're going to jump to the ACC and that Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket running back Jamal Haynes. Is he another version of Darren Sproles? We'll talk about that coming up next. Thank you for making Locked On NFL Draft your first listen today and every day. Shout for being our every day is 5'9", 190-pound running back Jamal Haynes. And this is one of those running backs, guys, lightning in the bottle, jitterbug, make you miss. He does it all. You hear me? He does everything. 169 carries on the season, 944 yards rushing. He had 12 total touchdowns. He had 9 rushing. I believe he had like 3 receiving. And when you look at the receiving game, 38 targets, 28 catches, 166 yards, receiving, right? He is a multifaceted running back. Now, yes, he got less carries than in 2023 because he had over 1,000 yards rushing in 2023. 344 total carries since the 2023 season. Only 4 fumbles, so he does protect the ball for the most part. He averages 5.8 over his career. He's coming off a season last year of 5.6 yards per attempt. Vision, suddenness, man. I think, to be honest, he could potentially be in the body type's a little different. I think RJ Harvey's a bigger back than he is in terms of being, again, short, stout back. He's got more muscle to his frame, but man, the lateral cuts, the ability to make guys. Jamal Haynes is like dealing with that point guard with the handle on the hardwood, right? In basketball, he has that dead leg. His dead leg might be the best in the class and in the country, but he also has a ridiculous right to left crossover or rocker step. And when he gets defenders one-on-one, that Florida State game, man, he had 11 carries for 75 yards and 2 touchdowns. There was a run where there's a play where he's attacked. He's going out to, he's got the ball. He's running, towards the right sideline, and he jump cuts back inside. He had a blocker, and it was 2-on-1 or 2-on-2, him and the blocker. And then there was 2 Florida State defenders pursuing from the defensive right to the defensive left, right to that sideline. He jump cut so well, those guys slipped, fell, made them fall. Like it looked like something out of and one. Like he just dropped them, right? If this was on the basketball court, you would hear all the oohs and ahs, right? It would have made Sports in the top 10. But that's what he did, and that's what he can do: make guys miss in tight quarters, in condensed spaces. He is so good at that, and I just appreciate his ability to force missed tackles, to be elusive, and again, to be sudden. Like his movements are sudden. He'll attack you, and it almost lull you to sleep a little bit, where you're like, okay, like, is he going right, left? Is he, what is he? Is he going to hit me with spin? And then he jump cuts, or he just sidesteps you, lateral step you. And it's so quick that he leaves defenders grasping for air and for his jersey. So you're talking about making plays happen, creating for himself. He can do that. Now, he's 5'9", 190. He is not going to be for everybody. That is a fact, right? He's a smaller back. So some of the movement skills you should have as a smaller back. He has a low center of gravity as a shorter back. But being 190 pounds, it leaves it up in the air on whether or not an NFL team will feel like, man, he can be a lead back. For most teams, he's not going to be a lead back. He's going to be more of a supplementary rotational back, that third down back, that change of pace back, and that's fine, right? That role is good in the NFL. Everybody's not going to be a lead back, and that's fine. It's completely okay. He's a talented player. The size deficiencies will come up and will be the part of his game that pick apart. Will he be able to handle and hold up in pass protection? There's going to be some physicality, like, because NFL is a grown man league, right? Like, it is what it is. When you have one of those linebackers as a free runner off a cross dog blitz, or that they mug the A gap, one goes, one shows, and that guy that goes gets scot free in the middle of the field. Yeah, it will be somewhat of an issue and a conversation to be had on whether or not he can hold up and be consistent in that. Now, he has the low center of gravity, which will help him, but is he going to be up to the task to handle the physicality that you will see at the next level? We'll find out. We will definitely find out, but I think he is a good back. right now have like a 4th-round grade on him. You know what I mean? That top of day 3. But again, we've seen other backs go a little bit earlier, right? And like I said, not to the exact same like size comparison, but nonetheless, talented back, and I think an NFL team will find and I think this is a guy also that I didn't check, but I think with his ability and his movement skills, you can get some receiving, not receiving, but some return game out of him as well. Right, I think he could be a good punt returner if a team wanted to put him in that spot and allow him to be used and developed there. Because again, he's patient, he has good vision, he's quick, he's sudden, and then the ability to make guys miss. And really in punt return, especially punt return more than kick return, you make that first guy miss, you can create something explosive on the punt returner. So I think he's got some of that, that ability in his game. And at worst, he's that third down back, that pass catching back that really changes the pace of everything. And, I think Tom Brady would have loved this kid. I think Drew Brees would have loved this kid, right? Like those quarterbacks who did not mind, well, not even didn't mind, but understood how to create and find the mismatches. Like, okay, I have a linebacker on my running back. Yeah, I'm taking that, right? The James Whites, the Deion Lewises, the Kevin Fox, the Danny Woodheads of the world, like all those running backs that he had and circled through during like Tom Brady's time, right? And we know Drew Brees and like Alvin Kamara and Pierre Thomas and Mark Ingram. He threw the ball to whoever they had in the run in the backfield, because all those guys, they typically, Sean Payton understood getting running backs that could catch. So again, I think those guys, like you can see that type of usage as a pass catcher and the upside as a pass catcher. Again, running the ball, he's going to be good. I think he can still run the ball well, zone stuff, like he can get downhill, but it's just more so it won't be heavy usage as a downhill or as a full-time runner. It's going to be more pass game, mix him in, things of that nature. Formation is going to be based on get him on the perimeter. He's a running back. I definitely on the perimeter. I want him in space. He's a satellite back to me. He's a satellite back that could do multiple things and have multiple impacts for your offense. But that's the running back show here with your boy DP. Guys, talking about Jamal Haynes out of Georgia Tech, Darius Taylor out of Minnesota, and Jonah Coleman for the University of Washington with those Huskies. Go subscribe and follow for free on YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts, to get the latest episode as soon as it is available. On tomorrow's show, we're going to talk about some talented cornerbacks. Does the University of Tennessee, those Volunteers, have the CB1 of the 2026 NFL Draft, Jermod McCoy? We'll talk about that on tomorrow's show. So come and join the conversation again tomorrow on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.